yeah. 1, 2, 3, pasa el guaro. Y sin estrés, que caro. Te gustan los chicos malos. Y se te ve que ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Yeah. Esa Julieta no necesita su Romeo. A esas caderas todo le creo. Y esta manera de perreo. Bájale al fuego porque esto se puso feo. Aquí un paisita con la de Ponce. Ella la mala y apelando el bronce. Yo flow Maluma, tu flow Beyoncé. Pega esto pa' que sientas el roce. Con su flow gemelita de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Yeah, yo le doy un flow a mi bebé la pupi. Le doy un guarito pa' que deje el tutti frutti. Pa' que no se estrese y solo mueva ese booty. Izquierda, derecha con su movimiento sutil. Los noquea como lo haya en el ring. Nunca pasa moda como la era de los memes. De toda la peli ella es la mejor sin. La bebé esta cara y eso que no sea Supreme. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Baby, presentando pa'
Hi everyone, happy Monday. Hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Please do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Yes, I was in the salon chair all day yesterday, so I'm sorry. I was way too exhausted to do a podcast. My ladies who get braids, she actually did it pretty quickly because she was doing it with her sister, but like just sitting down for like 4 hours was still a lot. So I was like, I need a break. Thank you very much. But thank you all for joining me today. A happy belated Father's Day to all the amazing fathers out there. If we've got any father Sussex squad in the chat, I know that we do have some male squaddies. So for those of you who are fathers, happy Father's Day to you. And I hope you enjoyed your Father's Day weekend. These pictures were actually posted, the ones of Charles with Philip, Camilla with her dad, and Charles with Harry and William were actually posted on the royal Instagram. So it's quite interesting that they did post a picture with Charles, Harry and William. And I hope that Father Sussex had a good time with his babies as well. Right, let's see who's in the chat. Hey, Lady Macaroon. Michelle's here. Lorna's here. Hey, Jean. Hey, RR. Hey Mina, happy Juneteenth to you. I am completely and utterly uneducated on the meaning of Juneteenth. So if anybody would like to just give me a brief explanation of what it is in the comment section, I will appreciate that. But I'm presuming because quite a few of you in the chat are saying it, that is quite significant. So happy Juneteenth to everybody who marks Juneteenth. Cinderella's here, Rochelle's here. Okay, so I think most of the squad is here. So let's get started, shall we? Okay. First of all, with the good news, yes, Suits is doing very, very well on Netflix. I don't know where it is now, but last time I checked, it was at number 3. So that's royalty checks every single month for our Meghan here. And those checks run up to the thousands sometimes. And for a show as successful as Suits, sure that she's still making a lot of money from it. One thing we've never that's never really been spoken about is Meghan's money while she was within the firm. How much access she had to money, like her own money, whether or not they try to control her money. I mean, they try to control everybody in this family. So I wonder maybe if that was the reason why, the real reason why they did not want to fund anything to do with Meghan, that they just wanted to rinse her funds completely. Because one thing they don't like is people in this firm being independent in any way. Oh, light side. Thank you so much for explaining. It's the real day the enslaved Africans were freed, their emancipation. Okay, that's interesting. Why do you say like real day? Like, is there another day that's kind of marked and people felt like that wasn't the real day, so they came up with they just decided to say, okay, no, this is the real day, and we have to celebrate it on this day. Okay, so it's the last day that slaves were free in the US after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by President Lincoln. Okay, thank you so much for explaining that, Cinderella. Yeah, they definitely did not teach that to us in schools in the UK. So thank you for explaining that, my American friends. Okay, next thing, the balcony. Oi, because Harry and Meghan did not go to the trooping of the taxpayers' millions, we were spared the balcony discourse in the lead up to this event. But apparently, some monarchists and royalists were not too happy about the new slimmed down monarchy. I mean, this is what Charles wanted, right? A slimmed down monarchy. And here it is. Looking real slim. Fat-free, sugar-free, gluten-free monarchy right here. I'll be interested to know about the spacing. Like, why are they've got 3 on the end? I have no idea who that is on the end. You've got 3 on the end over there. Just kind of standing off to the side. It does really look empty, right? But I don't know what they're complaining about, because don't you want to have less people on your taxpayers' purse strings? But here you go. Here's a slim down monarchy that was at the trooping of the taxpayers' pennies. On to the next thing. Oh, this right here, I don't even know what to say to this. There's a lady called Imaran Aiton. She claims to be an anti-R activist. She was an organizer for the BLM protests. I'm assuming the BLM protests in the UK, not the US, because I've never heard of her before this. I don't know her to be involved in BLM in the US. So I'm assuming she's part of BLM here in the UK, because this is a British woman. She was on Good Morning Britain, and they were having a conversation about whether or not Harry and Meghan are going to succeed in the States. I don't know why we're still having this Harry and Meghan going to succeed in the States conversation, because they are succeeding in the States. But anyway, here we are. They have to keep pushing out the propaganda. And this AntiR Activist said that Harry and Meghan need to go away and go silent. How much did they pay this coon? So I'm going to play the audio, not the video, because I don't know if the censors will get me. But I'm going to play the audio, and it's absolutely insufferable. Here we go. 1 sec, folks.
That they did was the most streamed program. Deal. I think the Netflix doc that they did was the most streamed program of last year.
Their projects have got a huge amount of attention and will have made money for both those companies, which is why it is a real shame for them that everything is disintegrated. But they can put it back, and I'll tell you how. It is everything Iman said, completely legitimate, and it was a massive dent in their popularity in America, but the polls have already started swinging back towards them. American public opinion is improving in relation to Harry and Meghan, but what they need to do is ditch the negative message, stop complaining. It goes down really badly if you're living in a $14 million house in the middle of a cost.
Okay, one thing I want to say about this. Most people who are not necessarily interested in the royals and don't necessarily follow the royals still love royal drama. That is one thing that even someone who really doesn't care about the royals on a day-to-day basis loves, is royal drama. So this idea that there's no interest, or people don't want to hear about what's been going on within the firm behind closed doors is just a lie. And in terms of Harry and Meghan's popularity, well, they do have a fan base that enjoys following them and what they're doing with their charity work, with their business. It continues.
Living crisis to be complaining all the time.
And what else can they talk about?
Well, they got to go back to the old school royal playbook, turn up to charity, looking fantastic, working.
No, they need to go away.
Okay, before the woman starts flapping her gum, I just want to go back a little bit there. He says that they need to just go back to the royal playbook of going to charities and showing up to events. That's what Harry and Meghan have done from day one. And they haven't just showed up to events and showed up to charities. They've created impact. That's the difference between the Sussexes and the other royals. They don't just show up, they create impact. Okay, I'm going to rewind just a little bit because she starts blabbing.
Charity, look, in the middle of a cost of living crisis, to be complaining all the time.
And what else can they talk about?
Well, they got to go back to the old school royal.
Okay, sorry, I have to stop it again. He also mentioned the cost of living crisis. Harry and Meghan are not funded by the taxpayer. The other royals are, to the tune of £250 million for a coronation.
Playbook, turn up to charity, looking fantastic.
No, they need to go away. I do apologise to interject. They just need to go away. Let's be honest with ourselves here. They got themselves in this mess. Let's talk about ourselves for 3 years, but then simultaneously say we want privacy. It's that dichotomy that's got them in this position. They need to go away. Go silent.
If their numbers on Spotify and Netflix, but specifically on Spotify, are so good, why have they been so horribly dropped?
Exactly.
A so-called BLM activist telling someone who just wanted to speak their truth to go away. Like, what do you even say to that? This woman has clearly been paid to come here and troll. Harry's lived his entire life having other people tell his story. He deserves to tell his story. Meghan, a woman with a black mother, had her entire character assassinated for 6 years. She has the right to tell her story.
I think that it sounds like there have been arguments over what content they're going to produce. So, this guy who's saying Harry's a grifter had a conversation with him to try to develop a podcast. Obviously, it never materialized. So there have been failed attempts to try to produce something that both sides think is great.
It implies to me that they're a nightmare to work with.
And that may well be the case. But all they need to do is start landing some projects that work. And they need to, if they're going to pull this back, they need to go on a journey yourself.
Okay, so Richard, who's the other interviewer, said Harry and Meghan are a nightmare to work with. Who is it that has had a revolving door of press secretaries and private secretaries? We're counting, 4 or 5 with Kate? The head of PR for Jamie Oliver, or I think she'd worked for Jamie Oliver for some time, she was tapped to join. and then at the last minute seem to just pull out. Everybody who works with Harry and Meghan says that they're great to work with, and yet there's a revolving door of staff at Kensington Palace.
Discovery where they accept that they have got some massive things wrong.
Alone by themselves with their family and their kids enjoying their money by themselves silently. That's what I agree with.
But they can do that and show up for charity in the meantime. And that will help them. If they can show up for good causes and show that they can still do that old school royal thing of giving back and helping people and do it in a way that doesn't look like it's all about them, then they will further help them.
Yeah, but they've got to earn money, haven't they? I mean, they could do the royal thing,
How
but that's
much
not
more
worth
money
them any
do
money.
they
How are they
need,
going to earn
Richard?
money?
I do apologise, but how much more money does one need? 100 million from a Netflix deal? I'm so sorry. I think it's safe to say they'll survive. No?
They've put
How much more money do we need to spend on parades, lady? Like, I don't know how these people are sitting here and talking about money which is their own.
pressure on themselves because their costs are high. You know, they bought this massive house with a massive mortgage of about $9 million. They may have paid
much
that
shopping going on out there.
no shopping at all.
No crying.
At all. And it may be that they paid it off already with all this massive amounts of money that they've been earning, but they have huge security costs.
Jack, Iman, good to see you this morning.
Let me just say, for the record, I personally would not care if Harry and Meghan never did another charity, never worked with charities ever again. Do I think that when you are in a position of privilege, perhaps you should help other people in society? Yes, but at the end of the day, I cannot police anyone's money. Nobody can police anyone's money. People can do what they want with their money if they earn it fair and square. And if all they wanted to do was, endorsement deals and show up to red carpet events, well, that's also their right. But they are doing generous things with their money. And how does someone who claims to be a BLM activist even go as far as saying, oh, they shouldn't even do charity work, they should just go away silently? I hope they paid you good, lady. Perhaps she wants an OB as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they gave her one. I hope you got more than the £300 that Victoria Arbiter got for that silly prank, only to lose her eyelashes. To your comments, y'all. Sometimes I just come on this podcast and I'm just like, what is going on? What is going on? So basically, BLM UK has been infiltrated. Can't be trusted. What a shame. Oh my gosh. Okay, to your comments. And this feeds the narrative of the trolls. Oh look, well, a black person is saying it, so it must be true. And again, like how many times have Harry and Meghan actually given interviews in the last 3 years? Very few. Stuck on stupid. Leisha, are the UK taxpayers paying the same amount of money for the slimmed down monarchy, meaning those remaining get more? Yeah. Are they spending less, or are the remaining ones just getting more of the pie? That's a good question. Because the slimmed down monarchy should be costing us less. Looking forward to the sovereign grant review. Lady Macron, you said, I'm very disappointed to see this person saying such things. Yeah. But, as I said before Harry's court case started, they are going to try and pull everything out the bag, every trick out the hat, throw everything at the wall, including the kitchen sink. So this is one, it's annoying, but it's 100% to be expected. 100% to be expected. Robin Hyde, what does the cost of their home have to do with anything in their Spotify contract? I don't know if these people are generally unaware or they're just purposely playing dumb, because also I think that they understand that a lot of their audience don't understand, basic financial literacy. If you have 1 million and you invest that very well, or you have a very good financial advisor, 1 million can become 10 million very quickly. All you have to do is make the right investment, pick the right stocks. It's not just whatever deals that Harry and Meghan are signing. They've got multiple forms of income at this point. We only know about one company that Meghan has invested in with Clever Blends. You don't know what else they've invested in. They've also got what they had going on with Ethic. So, man, the haters are going to be very disappointed. I mean, Harry and Meghan have been failing for the last 3 years. I hope to fail as much as Harry and Meghan have in their lives, because if this is failing, can somebody, Lord, please, can I fail? Jesus, please, give me this level of failure. Okay. All right. Let's get on to the next thing. Yes, Aja. Without Harry and Meghan, the haters have no news. Hi, by the way, if you're joining us, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Yeah, Akata. It's like, who are these people to tell the Sussexes how to live their lives? They left the firm for a reason. Okay, next thing. On to some serious stuff. Piers Morgan. As this hacking trial continues, it is becoming more and more obvious why Piers Morgan was in a panic. I don't know how many more times we have to hear that Piers Morgan told someone how to hack a phone, or Piers Morgan told someone that he heard something about phone hacking that one time. How many more of these stories do we have to hear before people just finally start to admit that this guy was hacking phones, or at the very least instructed other people to hack phones? You had that video where he's talking to Charlotte Church. I actually uploaded it on this channel. You can go to the short video section. You have, is it Jeremy Paxman, who relays a conversation where he was at dinner with people and Piers Morgan said that, this is how you hack a phone. Well, we have more that was coming out in the phone hacking trial today. It continues. So, phone hacking case live updates. Piers Morgan explained how to hack phones. Princess Diana's story was cruel and intrusive and false, journalist says. The hacking case against Mirror Group newspaper continues with a witness recalling how Piers Morgan, who was editor of the Mirror, mocked the boss of BT when explaining how to hack phones. The fourth claimant, Coronation Street actor Michael Turner, is also giving evidence today. And this is what was said in court. So, ex-Mirror journalist's witness statement. Diana video showed that article was wrong. During a break in evidence from Coronation Street actors Michael Turner, who plays Kevin Webster, here are more details from the witness statement submitted by former Mirror political group editor David Seymour. Mr. Seymour briefly appeared in court earlier this afternoon to give evidence about his experiences of alleged phone hacking while he worked with the Mirror. These do not relate to stories about Mr. Turner. In court, Mr. Seymour was asked about former Mirror editor Piers Morgan and a story about Princess Diana, which he gives detail about in his witness statement, saying, "I was at the Daily Mirror for the entire duration of Mr. Morgan's editorship and came to learn of some dubious methods being used to get stories in the Mirror." Mr. Seymour says the truth never emerged about how a story published in January 1996, featuring a front-page photograph of Princess Diana crying, was obtained. Diana was crying after visiting her savior friend and therapist, the article said, and more pictures were featured in the newspaper. The story said the princess was troubled by decisions she has to make over her divorce, Mr. Seymour's statement says. He continues, the article clearly suggests to readers Diana and the public that Diana was upset because of problems she faced in her life and having unburdened herself to her therapist. One sec, folks. Okay. However, Mr. Seymour says he remembers seeing Mr. Morgan and others watching a video which had been taken by a paparazzi photographer present at the time, and says it was played several times, a few days after the picture and story appeared. The video showed Diana was not upset as she left the building, but became distressed after being hounded up and down the streets by a baying, cat-calling mob of photographers. One more time, let me read that again. The video showed Diana was not upset as she left the building after she saw her therapist, but became distressed after being hounded up and down the street by a baying, cat-calling mob of photographers. The video revealed to those of us watching that the Daily Mirror's front page and inside spread was quite wrong in clearly suggesting that Diana was distraught when she left her therapist, Mr. Seymour says in his statement. But rather, it was the hounding by photographers that caused her to break down in tears. Mr. Seymour said she was upset and ashamed that we had printed something so cruel, intrusive, and false. He says Mr. Morgan understood the significance of the video, writing in his statement that the then editor said, "If this gets out, we're finished." Piers Morgan said, "If this gets out, we're finished." Mr. Seymour has told the court he never hacked phones or had knowledge of political journalists doing so. Y'all. I pray for the worst for these people. And you know, Piers Morgan said, or he said, I think several times, oh, you know, Harry doesn't even know the half of it when it comes to his mother. Harry doesn't know what his mother told me. Diana never knew that you were a lizard, Piers Morgan. And I think if she did, she would have never had anything to do with you. And this is exactly why the moment Harry found out that his then girlfriend, now wife, had been corresponding with you on Twitter, he told her, do not go anywhere near this guy. And we still don't even know, and I don't believe that he did, that Piers Morgan ever actually met Meghan. I think at the very least, they had one or two correspondence over social media. Correspondence that Meghan, as an up-and-coming actress, was probably having with 100 other journalists. There was nothing special about you, Piers, talking about Meghan ghosted me. Nonsense. Oi. These people. And, now you know why Piers Morgan has come after Harry and Meghan so much. This is what it's all been about. Oh dear. Hey, Dorothy Ross, thanks for joining us. Nice to see you here. And also, I mean, you guys, you just crowned a whole king. You just crowned a whole king, and you are obsessed with his son and daughter-in-law. Lady Macaroni said Pierce was an editor like he was a judge on a variety show. Badly, recklessly, did not know what he was doing. No. And the only reason he got that job on that variety talent show was because of Simon Cowell. And apparently him and Simon Cowell were sharing girlfriends, according to one madam who tweets often about it on social media. Okay, let's just get through comments before we go on to the next thing. Yeah, exactly, lovely Rose. Anyone would feel overwhelmed with that many attacks. And it just shows you the extent to which they were willing to create false narratives and hide the truth. Oh, Kat Harlem, thank you so much for the super sticker. You said the Sussexes retained ownership of intellectual property. If they hadn't, Spotify would have owned archetypes. That executive could be bitter about that, but he would never admit it. Yes, maybe that could be the case. And I have also heard that he was very salty towards athletes, particularly some black athletes who wanted more money. Like he's, just not a very nice character. Correlita Simon, thank you so much for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. And Jeanette as well. Thank you so much for super sticker dolls. Thank you, thank you. Oh, and Dorothy Ross for the PayPal, much appreciated. Thank you. And Robin H, I won't say your full name. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your PayPal as well. Much appreciated. Okay, on to the next one. Big story of the day. William wants to give people a little bit more than a smile here and there.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's that's more than financial.
Yeah. Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So,
Now listen, I have no issue whatsoever with someone lending a hand. Okay, I'm always gonna give anyone a pat on the back that wants to do something good. Okay, I'm not coming after William for trying to do something good. However, you have just spent one more time, I don't know, I will say it over and over and over again, 250 million on a clowning. And you just want to come in and say, I want to build a bit of social housing on the royal private estate. Mind you, part of the reason homelessness is on the rise, and we have issues with cost of living, is because of almost 20 years of Tory austerity measures. So if William wants to end homelessness, the way to go about it is not by just building a couple of houses for a few people on the royal estate. It's to having a conversation with your Tory friends in government, sir. And at least your brother, Harry, had the guts to say something about the government, put his neck on the line in his court statement the other week. Even if William was to do this, let's be fair. Even if William was to do this is not going to end homelessness. And it's not like he's just coming out and saying, well, I want to build a few homes to help a few people. No, he's literally going out of his way to say that he wants to end homelessness. And William is incredibly ambitious. Because William doesn't just want to end homelessness, y'all. William has said that he is fed up with R in football and wants to deal with R in football, the treatment of footballers of colour. He also called for Buckingham Palace ivory to be destroyed, even though I believe Camilla used an ivory scepter during the coronation. He's also said that bringing peace to the Middle East was also his life's mission. I mean, I admire ambition. I'm just wondering, when is William going to have time to do all of this, especially now with a slimmed down monarchy? You're going to end homelessness. You're going to end R in football. You're going to destroy all the ivory in Buckingham Palace. And you're going to bring peace to the Middle East. I mean, I admire ambition, but that's a bit much, no? Oh, my God. And the thing about this is that I do apologize. I forgot to get the slide, but the royals have actually done this before. Back in 2014, Charles actually did a similar thing. Do you know what? I do apologize because I forgot to get the slide, but I want to get it and I want to actually redo the article because when Charles did a similar scheme back in 2014, they actually ran into problems with the council. So just give me a minute. I'm going to find that article and we're going to read it out. Okay, I found it, y'all. I found it. We're back. We're back. So this is from 2014 in The Guardian. Royal estates fail to meet targets to build affordable homes. Study finds Crown Estate and Duchy of Cornwall regularly get councils to cut ratios of affordable homes on cost grounds. Two of Britain's largest landowning bodies, which between them generate millions of pounds a year for the Queen and Prince Charles, are regularly failing to meet affordable housing targets when building new homes on their land. Amid an escalating housing crisis, planning documents unearthed by the Independent Bureau of Investigative Journalism revealed that both the Crown Estate and Duchy of Cornwall are persuading councils to allow them to cut their affordable housing quotas on the grounds that meeting them would be too expensive. An investigation by the Bureau for the Observer has examined the two landowners' plan to build over 4,000 homes in 31 schemes. Of those, 14 developments set to produce over 2,000 units failed to meet local targets, resulting in at least 213 fewer affordable homes being built. The Bureau also found that 10 out of 19 of the largest Crown Estates developments have not or will not meet affordable housing targets. I find this quite concerning, said Clive Betts, MP, chairman of the Commons Communities and Local Government Select Committee. They have a special obligation beyond the ordinary developer, and they ought to be doing what's right by the community. They ought to be taking the lead, especially as it's public land after all. In its most recent financial results, the Crown Estate said it had outperformed the market and achieved over 250 million surplus, 15% of which goes to the Queen to support her duties as head of state. The rest of the profit goes to the Treasury. Right, so it goes on a little bit more detail. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's quite long. But so what William is proposing, similar things have been done before and they didn't work. And so, yeah, let's see. Let's see in 10 years if William has ended homelessness. I wonder if this is something that he consulted with the other people in the palace about, or he just decided to do this himself. Thank you so much to Alan Vernon for the coffee and also Lisha C for the 3 coffees. Much appreciated. Thank you. Right, let's go to your comments. Oh, thank you so much, Benjamin, for becoming a member. Much appreciated. Thank you. And I mean, how many homes again? How many homes do these people live in? Oh my God. Jesus, the tone deafness. The tone deafness. Boney, it's not going to happen. Charles was charging people higher rent and no booting them when he increased rent on them. Yeah. And I think that there's also a law that if you don't have a will and you have real estate that's part of the duchy's land, that Charles actually inherits what you left. I'm gonna look this up because I've heard something about this. If they are worried about homelessness, open up the royal houses and let the unwashed masses in. Excuse me? Are you trying to say that us subjects are unwashed? Oh, well, that might be the case, to be honest, because a lot of people cannot afford to pay their water bills. That's the sad thing about it. I mean, you're talking about ending homelessness, or even people who have homes are struggling to put the heating on, struggling to pay the water bills, struggling to feed their families, got more food banks than McDonald's. It's a tragedy, y'all. It's a tragedy. And it's not something that should be happening in a country as wealthy as the UK. But that wealth is concentrated, and that's the problem. Oh. William talks zero action. Well, you know what? This is a step up from a smile here and there. I'm sure there's someone at Kensington Palace who's just like, yo, that Anne that keeps going on about how William just offers a smile here and there. No, we're gonna do something. This is all because of I'm taking full credit because I kept on making fun of William, offering nothing but a smile here and there. The palace came up with this. I'm taking full credit for this. It's a step forward. Okay. And also this actually came about because of an exclusive in the Daily Fail. Yes, that Daily Fail. The Daily Fail that lost to Meghan Daily Fail. He gave them an exclusive front cover, pictures, and interview as well. Okay, on to the next thing. Oh, actually, sorry. I'll read a little bit from the BBC article. So this is what William actually said. William is committed to building social housing on his private estate. William told the Sunday Times how he wanted to build the homes on the Duchy of Cornwall's 130,000-acre property empire he now controls after becoming the Prince of Wales. Reacting to the announcement, Crisis Chief Executive Matt Dowie said it was great to see the heir to the throne's commitment to build housing. We look forward to working together to create a country where everyone can enjoy the basic right of a good home. Well, do you know what? That actually has to start with government policy on a wider scale, not just building a few homes on a royal estate. Because okay, you build some homes on a royal estate, right? The people who live there, they're still going to go to work. They're still going to take public transport. Do you know how much a single journey on the underground in London costs now? It's ridiculous. William told the Times he wants to make it his mission to end homelessness in the UK and said he will launch a really big project to take on the issue. However, okay, so we're getting to it now. Details of the 5-year project are being kept secret until the end of the month. The Prince of Wales told the newspaper, "It's nerve-wracking, but I'm really excited. I've been waiting for the right time to do this. 20 years of austerity, you've been waiting for the right time to do this." I mean, the right time could have been any time. Mr. Dowie said the Prince was absolutely right to say that homelessness can be ended. We can end homelessness. For too long, it has been assumed that this problem is just too difficult or that it's something we should simply accept as a society, he said. Okay, I look forward to it. And with that, I'm done. We'll get to your comments, and thank you as always, everyone. Thank you for your support. So much appreciated. Thank you for your generosity. Like I said, could not do this without you, day in and day out. Ellen Vernon, how is he going to expose the kids to homelessness if he's he's getting rid of homelessness? Oh my gosh. Listen, he never said that he would eradicate it in like 10 years, right? So there's plenty of time there's plenty of time to expose the children to homelessness before he eradicates homelessness. Can I also I didn't really want to talk about the cover because I just don't like bringing the kids into this, but I don't think it's right for him to be using his children for PR. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You know, just let the children be children. Let them enjoy life without all of this stuff. Like, nobody really wants to see the royal children except for the royal reporters who want to make money off of the royal children. I don't believe that the average person in the UK wakes up in the morning and goes, "I want to see the royal children." I think they've been, fed this idea through the press that just want to make money, and they've it's commodified. You know the word I'm trying to use. Made these children into a source of income is what I'm trying to say, and that's just not right. Right, we'll get your comments. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button on your way out, folks. You're almost at 17,000. Thank you so much. Raven, will these people be living for free or do they have to pay back the I'm not going to say that word somehow because he looked like he does nothing for free. That is a good question. Well, they're saying affordable housing. Given how expensive it is to live in London nowadays, I mean, what does affordable housing even mean? You're out here talking about William's teeth, William's hair, folks. Not today. Can we behave today? Truva Dilly, Tisa Tel's YouTube channel stated that they are pushing the rhetoric of William becoming a single dad. Look at the pics. Kate is nowhere to be seen, especially the one with the babies. Well, on Mother's Day, Kate also released a picture where it was just her and the kids. I don't know. It's an interesting theory. Given all of the separation rumors. Yeah, Carolyn, we're paying off taxes. We won't have any wage left to spend. We pay ridiculously high taxes, and then what else do we pay? National insurance, and then for those that have student loans as well. Oy. Lucy, William is 40, which in a lifetime, what has he done to impact the Middle East? Yeah, the Middle East would like to know what William is doing to help the Middle East. You can tell your government to stop interfering with their foreign policy, Your Majesty. That might help the Middle East. All right, trying to get for your comments before we shut things down. Eve, you said for William, this is not about helping the poor and homeless. It's just another of his many PR stunts. Well, I mean, let's see where it goes. he says that he's not just trying to help end homelessness, that he will end homelessness. So let's see. William is, if we still have a monarchy by that point, going to be king. So who knows? Could this be the moment where he finally does something? And whatever happened to the story about the royals welcoming Ukrainian refugees into some of the palaces? I never heard any update on that at all. And I've never seen any evidence that they actually did that. There was just loads of PR fluff that was put out about it. And then you've never heard anything about it since. All right, who's gonna get the last word of the day? BTBT said, how much money does the King and William need? They for sure have more than Harry and Meghan. Yeah. I mean, they just need to stay out of Harry and Meghan's bank balances. It's none of your business. They're no longer in the institution anymore. Anna, you pay everything here in the States, including a D tax. You pay to D? You pay when you're unalived? The IRS pays you, even takes your money even when you're in the grave? Like, that is unbelievable. How are you gonna pay people when they're unalived? Okay, I'm gonna look into that. Jesus. All right, that's it, folks. Let's dance our way out. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. And thanks once again, everyone, for your incredibly kind generosity. Couldn't do it without you. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Ciao.
Lunes, ya. 1, 2, 3, pasa el guaro. Y sin estrés, que caro. Te gustan los chicos malos. Y se te ve que ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan. Facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota. Que se mueve como loca. Yeah. Esa Julieta no necesita su Romeo. A esas caderas todo le creo. Y esta manera de perreo. Bájale al fuego porque esto se puso feo. Aquí un paisita con la de Ponce. Ella la mala y apelando el bronce. Yo flow Maluma, tu flow Beyoncé. Yo pega esto pa' que sientas el roce. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Ella como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Yo le doy un flow a mi bebé la pupi. Le doy un guarito pa' que deje el tutti frutti. Pa' que no se estrese y solo me va a hacer booty. Izquierda, derecha con su movimiento sutil. Nos moquea como lo haya en el ring. Nunca pasa moda como la era de los memes. De toda la peli ella es la mejor sin. La de esta cara y eso que no usa Supreme. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Con su flow, gemelita de J-Lo, de J-Lo, de J-Lo. Nunca le dice que no, a que no, a que no. A perrele reggaetón, ton, reggaetón, ton. Ella es como Jordan, facilito las anota. Ella se le ve la nota, que se mueve como loca. Ella es como Jordan,